Survival in the open sediment is not merely a game of visual evasion. It is a clinical challenge of biological probability. This is the Mimic Octopus, a master of tactical deception that rewrites its own geometry to vanish in plain sight. In the evolutionary theater of the ocean floor, this cephalopod doesn't just hide. It executes a real-time, neurological performance. That deceives the most advanced visual systems in the sea. The octopus utilizes a tripartite sensory motor matrix that functions as a high-speed organic processor. Beneath the dermal layer, billions of chromatophores, iridophores, and leucophores operate in a neural-synced sequence. It doesn't just mimic a color, it adopts the exact physical texture and locomotor patterns of dangerous reef inhabitants, lionfish, sea snakes, and flatfish. This is not a static display. It is a dynamic, multi-layered matrix of biological artifice, constantly calculating how to best disrupt the silhouette of its own anatomy. This is not mere instinct. It is a calculated diagnostic procedure. The Mimic Octopus continually analyzes the local predator threat and selects a specific morphotype that triggers an immediate avoidance response in its attackers. It essentially hacks the neurological threat assessment system of other species, forcing them to turn away by appearing as something they are biologically programmed to fear. This requires advanced optic lobe processing, maintaining a high-fidelity internal model of both its own physical form and the environmental perception of the observer. The Mimic Octopus exists only when it chooses to be seen, reclaiming its environment through the precision of its performance. Whether it is mimicking the venomous spines of a lionfish or the undulating movement of a sole, the target is never where the predator thinks it is. It is a masterpiece of tactical deception, the clinical finality of a creature that has mastered the physics of perception. The target is locked, the illusion is perfect, and the environment is reclaimed.
In the open reef, survival is a game of constant visual evasion. A massive predator enters the reef. Detected movement means immediate, fatal exposure.
Cuttlefish skin functions as a sensory array. It doesn't just match the color, it maps the structural grain of the seafloor in real time, preparing for total textural integration.
Millions of pigment sacs expand in sequence, mimicking the color of the seafloor. The predator passes over, oblivious. This is the tactical advantage of biological deception.
Beneath the pigment, the cuttlefish skin reveals its structural foundation. Microscopic, crystalline iridophore plates that function as thin film filters. These plates selectively reflect light wavelengths, creating brilliant metallic blues and greens that pigments cannot produce, serving as the system's structural light core. Below them, leucophores scatter broad-spectrum light, providing a clean, high-contrast base layer for total spectral precision. By modulating the spacing of these plates, the cuttlefish achieves dynamic color control, essential for environmental calibration.
The biological efficiency is precise. By synchronizing pigment expansion with structural light reflection, the cuttlefish achieves a level of spectral accuracy that transcends mere color matching.
It is a dynamic, multi-layered matrix, achieving tactical stealth. Stealth is not merely defensive, it is a tactical precursor to the predatory strike. Every movement of the prey is analyzed by the optic lobe, calculating distance, trajectory, and strike timing.
The skin briefly transitions to a hypnotic pattern, a neurological trick used to briefly stun the prey's sensory input.
With the target fixed, the camouflage drops, and the strike is launched in milliseconds.
The energy expenditure is minimal. The tactical loop closes, and the environment is immediately reclaimed.
This is the zenith of marine biological engineering. A predator that exists only when it chooses to be seen.
On the dark, high-competition boundary of the tropical ocean floor, slow movement is a fatal evolutionary disadvantage. To hunt high-velocity fish without legs or standard claws, the geography of the cone snail relies on automated mechanical weaponry. Deep within its throat sits the radular sac, an internal storage matrix that functions exactly like a weapon magazine. Here, the snail continuously hardens individual, hollow chitinous teeth equipped with backward-facing barbs. It holds these organic projectiles in a state of constant readiness, waiting to cycle a fresh round into the launch chamber. Phase 2 initializes the launch platform through advanced fluid dynamics. The snail extends its proboscis, a hyper-flexible muscular tube that snakes across the seafloor toward its sleeping prey. To transform this soft tissue into a rigid, aimable rifle barrel, the snail pumps internal blood and hydrostatic fluid into the proboscis walls. The sudden hydraulic pressure stiffens the tube, locking the vector trajectory onto the target while keeping the primary shell completely motionless in the shadows. When the target enters the absolute strike perimeter, the safety latch drops. A highly specialized, thick-walled venom bulb contracts with violent force, building immense hydrostatic pressure behind the chambered tooth. The potential energy converts instantly into raw kinetic acceleration. The harpoon tooth is detonated out through the tip of the proboscis, tearing through the open water and embedding its backward barbs directly into the prey's muscle tissue, anchoring the victim to the snail. The terminal phase resolves the capture with devastating biochemical precision. The hollow core of the harpoon acts as an injection needle, flooding the prey's bloodstream with a lethal cocktail of up to 100 different neurotoxins, known as conotoxins. This chemical weapon network runs a synchronized defensive campaign, simultaneously blocking all neuromuscular ion channels. The fish's central nervous system undergoes an immediate system overload, freezing it completely solid within milliseconds. The prey is rendered entirely helpless, dragged backward into the primary crushing jaw with cold, clinical finality.